Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight. Relationships ain't complicated when you know how men think. Men are not as mysterious as we try to act. Most of the time, what drives a man's decisions comes down to how he feels, how he's respected, and how he's inspired. Now, some of y'all are sitting there wondering, Steve, how do I make a man choose me and walk away from that woman he's with? Well, I'm about to give you the keys. Stop trying to compete directly with her. That right there is where most women get it wrong. You see a man with somebody else, and your first instinct is, I gotta outdo her. I gotta look better, dress better, cook better, talk sweeter, be sexier. That's the trap. Because what you don't realize is this: if he already chose her, trying to become a carbon copy just puts you in the shadow of what he already had. You can't beat somebody at being themselves, and you shouldn't even try. A man doesn't need another version of what he already got at home. What he needs is something different, something refreshing, something that makes him pause and go, wait a minute, what am I doing? Think about it. If he's living in a situation that's filled with noise, arguments, and constant tug of war, the last thing he needs is another woman who's playing that same game. That's why bringing peace where she brings drama is so powerful. Men act like they want chaos sometimes, but truth be told, every man wants peace. Every man wants to walk into a room, sit down with somebody, and feel like the weight of the world just slid off his shoulder. If she's stressing him out and you're giving him space to breathe, to laugh, to exhale, he's going to feel the difference. He might not say it out loud at first, but trust me, he's thinking it. Now, when you stop competing, you set yourself apart. See, comparison puts you in the same lane, and you don't want that. If you're in the same lane as her, all he's going to do is keep driving the same route. But when you shift lanes and give him something completely different, now he's got a choice. A man starts comparing not who looks better or who cooks better, but who he feels better around. And feelings beat out everything else. Looks fade, excitement fades, but the memory of how he feels when he's with you, that's what sticks. You don't even have to say much. Peace is loud all by itself. When he calls you and your voice is calm, when he tells you about his day and you don't immediately start judging, when he comes around you and feels like he doesn't have to put on a mask, that's when you're winning. A man will run from stress and run toward peace every time. You ever wonder why some men will leave a woman who seems to have it all together for somebody who looks half as flat? Is because of the energy. Peace will outshine perfection all day long. And let me tell you something else. When you're not trying to be her, you allow yourself to be authentic. That's attractive. Authenticity is magnetic. Men can feel when you're trying too hard, when you're putting on a show, when you're performing. It feels fake, and fake doesn't last. But when you just being you, when you're standing firm in your own skin, that's when he notices. He starts thinking, man, with her, I don't have to be somebody else. With her, I can just be me. And that's powerful. That's the seed that grows into him rethinking his whole situation. Don't get it twisted. This ain't about trying to steal him. It's about showing him what's real. If his current relationship is full of tension, arguments, and constant competition, your calm presence becomes the contrast. Contrast is what makes people see clearly. If everything was the same, he wouldn't notice. But when he experiences the difference, when he steps from noise into peace, from drama into joy, he starts realizing he can't go back. That's how a man's mind works. He won't always say it. He might even deny it at first, but deep down, he's comparing, and deep down, he knows where he feels better. So when you stop trying to compete directly with her, you win without even fighting. You don't have to be louder, shinier, or tougher. You just have to be different, be peaceful, and be yourself. And if his relationship isn't feeding him in those ways, the difference you bring will be the very thing that makes him start questioning why he's still with her. Men crave admiration. And that's one of the deepest truths most people overlook. You want to tilt the scale in your favor? Stop focusing on trying to outshine another woman physically or financially and start making him feel like the man he wants to be. At the end of the day, every man is walking around with a question in his heart. Am I enough? He might not say it, but he's thinking it. He's grinding at work. He's trying to provide. He's trying to show the world he matters. And when he doesn't get that recognition, he feels small. Now, if the woman he's with is constantly tearing him down, nagging, or reminding him of what he hasn't done instead of what he has, guess what happens? His spirit gets smaller. His drive starts fading. He starts looking for a place where he feels like a king again. That's where you come in. If you're the one who reminds him of his strength, his worth, his talent, then you're offering him what his current situation might be starving him of. Admiration isn't about lying or feeding his ego with nonsense. It's about seeing the good in him and saying it out loud. If he tells you about a project at work and you say, I knew you could handle that, it lights him up. If he mentions an idea and you respond with, that's smart, I like the way you think, he feels validated. And when a man feels validated, he feels powerful. That's what admiration does. It fuels him. See, most men don't leave women because of how they look. Looks are everywhere. Beauty fades, and let's be honest, there will always be somebody younger, fitter, or more stylish walking by. But what a man can't find easily is a woman who makes him feel like he matters, who makes him feel appreciated for who he is, not just what he gives. When he feels like he's being dismissed at home, but you're making him feel important, the contrast gets clearer and clearer. He starts to notice, wait a minute, why do I feel smaller with her but bigger with you? That's the beginning of the shift. And admiration doesn't always have to be grand. Sometimes it's in the small things. Laughing at his corny jokes when nobody else does. Asking him for his opinion and actually taking it into account. Thanking him for the little stuff he does instead of acting like it's no big deal. Those gestures might seem small to you, but to him, they're everything. A man's pride is connected to how he's seen. If she's always pointing out his flaws while you're pointing out his strengths, who do you think he's going to gravitate toward? He'll start craving your energy, your words, your presence, because it feeds him. Here's the thing, admiration has to be real. Men can smell fake praise a mile away. If you're just saying things to manipulate him, it won't work. He has to feel that you genuinely respect him. And the more you mean it, the more he'll trust it. That trust turns into comfort, and comfort turns into connection. Before long, he's looking forward to being around you, not just because you're attractive, but because you make him feel like his best self. And when a man feels like his best self with you, he'll start wondering if he can ever truly be that person with her. This is why admiration is so powerful. It shifts the balance. She might have history with him, but you're giving him vision. She might have memories with him, but you're giving him fuel. He might love certain things about her, but he'll notice that with you, he feels seen, heard, and respected in a way he can't deny. Over time, admiration outweighs attraction. It outweighs obligation. It even outweighs comfort. Because every man deep down is drawn to the place where he feels like a man. So if you want to stand out, don't compete with what she has or what she gives. Just admire him for who he is. Encourage the greatness in him and show him that with you, he's not just another guy. He's the man. That difference will echo in his mind long after you're gone. And eventually, it's going to tip the scale in your favor. Don't chase him. That right there is one of the most powerful things a woman can understand. The more you press, the less he values you. A man will never respect what comes too easy. You don't get a man by calling him every hour, texting him every minute, and trying to wedge yourself into every single corner of his life. That doesn't make him think you care. It makes him think you desperate. And let me tell you, desperation has a smell to it. When a man senses that you need him more than you want him, he loses interest. Men are hunters by nature. We don't like what runs straight into our arms. We like what makes us put in the work. Now, here's the thing. It's not about playing childish games or being cold. It's about creating balance. If you're always available, always at his service, always saying yes before he even finishes asking, he'll take you for granted. That's just human nature. But when you have boundaries, when you've got your own life, your own plans, your own purpose, that's when he starts chasing you. Because now he's thinking, hold up, why isn't she picking up every time? What's she got going on? Who's she with? That little bit of mystery is magnetic. A man will lean toward the woman who makes him curious, not the one who lays it all out on the table with nothing left to discover. See, the woman he's with right now might already be in the routine. He knows her patterns. He knows her moves. He knows exactly how the story goes. There's no spark in predictability when it becomes nagging, clinging, or suffocating. But if you step into the picture and you're not begging for his time, you're not blowing up his phone, you're not chasing after him, you become the unknown. And nothing excites a man like the unknown. He starts wondering what's different about you. Why you not pressing the way other women do. And that wonder is what pulls him in closer and closer. I'll tell you this. When a man has to chase, he invests. When he invests, he values. And when he values, he commits. But when everything is just handed to him, he enjoys it for the moment, then moves on. That's why you have to hold your ground. Don't let him feel like you got no options. Don't let him think he's the center of your universe before he's even earned that spot. You're not here to beg for his attention. You're here to show him that your attention is a privilege, and privileges have to be earned. Think about it this way. If you're always running toward him, he doesn't have to move. He gets comfortable, lazy even, because you're doing all the work. But the moment you stop chasing, the moment you put the energy back into yourself, that's when he starts moving. He'll start calling more, texting more, planning more, because he don't want to lose the chance to figure you out. The mystery pulls him, and the chase keeps him invested. And here's the kicker. Not chasing doesn't mean you're cold or dismissive. It just means you know your worth. You can still smile, laugh, enjoy his company, but you don't rearrange your whole life to fit into his schedule. You don't drop everything just because he finally decides to show up. You stand firm in your world, and he has to find his place in it. That's the difference. And when he sees that you've got balance, confidence, and self-respect, it stands out from whatever he's used to. So don't chase him. Don't beg for his time. Don't give him the satisfaction of thinking he's the prize you're running after. Flip it around. Make him see that you're the prize and he has to step up if he wants to claim it. Because the woman who knows her worth, who holds her ground, who creates mystery and balance, that's the woman a man can get out of his head. You listen to him, it sounds simple, but most people don't get it. Men out here got a whole lot to say, but very few places where they feel safe enough to say it. They walk around with stress from work, pressure from family, worries about money, fears about the future, and the crazy part is, most of the time, nobody's really listening. Folks hear the words, but they don't actually listen. That's why when a woman takes the time to lean in, to hear him out, to really make space for his voice, it hits different. He remembers it. He values it. And if he's not getting that at home, trust me, he's going to notice when you give it to him. See, a lot of women think men don't talk because they don't want to, but that's not true. Men don't talk because they've been trained to believe nobody cares. From the time we're little boys, we're told to man up, to be strong, to hold it in. So what happens? We carry it all. We bottle it up. Then when we finally try to open up and the person we're with dismisses it, mocks it, or brushes it off, we shut right back down. But when you listen, when you let him unload without rushing him, judging him, or fixing him, you become that rare, safe space. And that's something a man will cling to, even if he doesn't admit it. Now, listening ain't just sitting there nodding your head while scrolling through your phone. Real listening means paying attention, asking follow-up questions, remembering what he said last week, noticing the tone in his voice. If he tells you about a problem at work, don't just say, "Oh, you'll be fine." That's what everybody else tells him. Instead, say, "That sounds tough. How are you handling it?" That one question tells him you care enough to go deeper. And when you do that consistently, he'll start opening doors he's never opened before. He'll trust you with pieces of himself he doesn't share with anyone else. Here's the powerful part. When a man trusts you with his thoughts, you gain a hold on his heart, because trust is the foundation of love. He might be with her right now, but if he can't talk to her without feeling shut down, and he can talk to you without holding back, the choice becomes clearer every single day. People think relationships end because of big blow-ups or cheating, but more often than not, they end because somebody stops listening. They stop caring. They stop being that safe space. Imagine this. He's at home trying to tell her about his bad day, and she cuts him off with her own problems. Or she tells him he's overreacting, or she turns it into an argument. He feels small. He feels ignored. Then he talks to you, and you let him finish. You nod. You smile, you encourage him, you ask questions. He feels heard. That difference is everything. He starts to crave your company, not because you're glamorous or dramatic, but because you make him feel human. You make him feel like he matters. And that is worth more